Our next clip is brought to you in partnership with Squarespace. Bring your stories to life online with Squarespace through a website, blog, or portfolio. So easy, I can even use it. For 10% off, head over to squarespace.com/TYT or use the promo code TYT.
Betsy DeVos and the Trump administration have proposed massive cuts to certain programs and organizations that need the money. One of those programs is the Special Olympics. In fact, Betsy DeVos has been grilled by representatives in Congress over her decision to cut funding. Now, the amount of money potentially saved by the government if it eliminated its support for the Special Olympics would be $17.6 million. But the Trump administration is looking to cut more than $8.5 billion, or approximately 12%, from the Education Department budget. Now, keep in mind that Donald Trump is the person who was just fighting aggressively for $5 billion for the border wall, which would do absolutely nothing in stopping people from smuggling drugs into the country. He also aggressively pushed for and successfully pushed for massive tax cuts for the wealthy, which will cost this country $2 trillion over the next decade. But they gotta save money somewhere, so of course they're gonna go after things like the Special Olympics. And Betsy DeVos did get grilled on this. Here is Representative Mark Pocan asking Betsy DeVos what fueled this decision.
Do you know how many kids are gonna be affected by that cut, Madam Secretary?
Mr. Pocan, let me just say again, we had to make some difficult decisions with this budget.
Again, this is a question of how many kids, not about the budget.
I don't know the number of kids.
It's 272,000 kids. That's all. I'll answer it for you. That's okay. No problem. It's 272,000 kids.
Yeah. So she's never prepared. If you're going to cut the program, you should know how many people that it affects.
She doesn't care. Why would she need to be prepared, Cenk? Who's going to hold her accountable?
Yeah. So if you say, hey, look, he looked that up, she didn't, it's a gotcha question. I don't care. What I care most about is that they're cutting the program. So they say, well, look, Special Olympics is also funded by private donations. And then DeVos says, no, I'm actually now donating to the Special Olympics. Well, okay, great. I actually have a suggestion for you. Why don't you donate all of the money that your family saved from tax cuts, the Trump tax cuts, to the Special Olympics?
Oh, no, they can't do that. They need to buy more yachts. What are you talking about?
Now, to be fair, she's down to 9 because her 10th yacht got a little damaged.
It was vandalized,
which
right?
They were very upset about.
It was really a tragedy.
No, by the way, I'm not kidding. She has 10 yachts and the 10th one was slightly damaged. And so they were very, very upset about that.
While kids are dying without healthcare access in America, right?
Okay.
But she needs to have her extra yacht anyway.
So they cut $17.6 million. It's actually nothing for the DeVos family. Her father, Edgar Prince, also of course the father of Eric Prince, who started Blackwater and does secret deals for Trump in Seychelles Island with Middle Eastern countries and the Russians. Anyway, was worth $1.35 billion back in '96 when they sold their company. Now probably worth many more billions. And the DeVos's themselves are worth, apparently, Richard DeVos is $5.4 billion. So that's 6.75, very conservative estimate there. They saved way more than 1% in taxes. Some of their business are companies where you could pass taxes through. They saved a tremendous amount there. Estate taxes, they might save literally billions of dollars. But even if you just took 1% of their overall worth, it'd be $67.5 million. And that's very conservative. And that would easily cover the Special Olympics that they just cut by $17.6 million.
Look at what they do time and time again. I mean, just to save a little extra in taxes, and that's money that they don't even need. They're already living lavishly. They're willing to target and attack any federal money that goes toward organizations that actually need it, right?
Because her main excuse today was, Mark Pocan was questioning her and others was the need for, quote, fiscal discipline.
No, I want to give you her exact quote, okay? Because I'd love to have a discussion about fiscal discipline. That would be great. So here's her exact quote. She says, we're not doing our children any favors when we borrow from their future in order to invest in systems and policies that are not yielding better results. So let's stop right there, okay? So she gets into the federal debt as if she and the Republican Party cares at all about the federal debt. I mean, the deficit, and I know that's different from the debt, to be clear, has exploded under the Trump administration. Why? Because of his tax cuts, because he loves to spend. It's just that he doesn't want to prioritize. This administration doesn't want to prioritize the needy. They want to keep giving handouts and subsidies to the wealthy. They want tax cuts for the wealthy. The corporate tax rate went from 35% to what was it, 21%? 21%. The corporate tax rate, that's not even the effective corporate tax rate. The effective corporate tax rate in the previous system, okay, was like 17%. After all those corporate tax loopholes and all those deductions that they get to take advantage of.
And they didn't remove any of those loopholes.
None of them. They got rid of all sorts of deductions the middle class gets to take advantage of. People living in high tax states are no longer able to deduct their state taxes the same way they were able to before. So people living in blue states, which by the way subsidize welfare programs for middle America, they got hurt by the tax plan. I got hurt by the tax plan. I'm not making a ton of money, but Betsy DeVos and all of her corporate buddies, they got to take advantage of this great tax plan that the Trump administration put out there and the GOP voted in favor of. So don't talk to me about fiscal responsibility. Those tax cuts will cost our country $2 trillion over the next decade. You do not care about fiscal responsibility. You care about your own pocketbook, and that's it. She's trash.
So understand what fiscal discipline means to Betsy DeVos and the Republicans. 1.9 trillion for the rich, but they couldn't find 17 million for Special Olympics. Just couldn't find it. Hey, all of a sudden they care about fiscal discipline.
They'll fight for $70 billion for the hate monument at the border, which won't do anything to solve our immigration problems, won't do anything to solve drug smuggling in America. $70 billion that wall will cost if Trump gets his way. They have no problems with that type of fiscal irresponsibility.
I know Republicans are math challenged, so let me reiterate. It's not 17 trillion for the Special Olympics. It's not 17 billion for the Special Olympics. It's just $17.6 million for the Special Olympics. But I was too rich for their blood because all of a sudden they needed fiscal discipline after they gave away the store to the rich. They're gross people.
And she talks about caring about the children, making sure we're looking out for young people in America. What about all those for-profit college buddies that you put in the education department? What about all those for-profit colleges that have been preying on students in America for decades now? What about all the regulations that you rolled back so they can prey on students more? You don't care about anything but yourself.
Last two things on this. First of all, while they had to do fiscal discipline on Special Olympics, executive salaries at the department went up by 15%. They have no conscience at all. And speaking of no conscience, now that brings us to Donald Trump. This is a clip not of Donald Trump talking about the Special Olympics, but the Paralympics. But listen to what this monster says. Watch.
What happened with the Paralympics was so incredible and so inspiring to me. And I watched, it's a little tough to watch too much, but I watched as much as I could. It was really fantastic.
Trash. That's what we have in office right now, trash. Complete garbage.
Can't add anything to that. 2 easy ways to follow the Young Turks. One is hit the subscribe button down below, then you're a TYT subscriber. And second is ring the bell. And when you do that on YouTube, you're notified of our videos.